Hey folks, it's Lucid, welcome back. I forget what turn it is, but we've got another turn here with Lemuria. I think it's turn 32. We see that the Silver Throne has been claimed, which is too bad. I would have loved to have the Silver Throne, but I have sorceresses, so it's okay. We found 2 magic sites. These are water 1 sites, so there's 2 water gems per turn now, which is really good. It does, getting water income early is going to open up things like Vengeful Waters and stuff for me later in the game. And then Garden of Bones. Potentially I could also look to do some of the water conjuration stuff too. Yeah. This is a death 1 side, I think. Yeah. So thank you, Sakane. Off my porch, earning his paycheck. Okay, what now? There's a few battles, and we'll watch those. So I attack Calum here. This is where he raided Agartha, and I asked Agartha last turn if he wanted me to take this back from Calum, and he said he wasn't going to be able to get to it, so sure. So I'm going to take it back and then leave 0 PD. You know, it doesn't remove the risk that that Calum raids it back, but we actually had some interesting events this turn. Here we're pinging the Atlantis group. Here I think we're pinging... There's no PD here, so if he moves this army out, then I'm going to take the province. That's why I'm pinging these. And then he attacks me here with this Earth Serpent, which we've seen that battle. We've seen that play out a few times, haven't we? The battle that I could win, but every single time I lose, or the battle I should win, if my guy follows the right script, but every single time he loses. Oh, importantly, we get to see Gath's Bless. Now it's funny because I've been trying to find Gath's Bless, but I haven't been able to see it. And then, like right before this turn issued, Gath told me what his bless was because we were just talking about something else, and he was like, "You know what my bless is, right?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Dude, your scouting network's horrible." I'm like, "Dude, I'm trying. I'm like chasing your army around." I'm at, like, a lot of times I don't even try. I feel like this game I have made scouts to scout. You guys are getting like the deluxe package with me scouting, at least as far as Lucid scouts go, which are notoriously bad. So let's take a look at his bless. He's got solar weapons, which are going to be good against ghosts. I don't know if this is on hit or on damage. If it's on hit, then I think this is good against ethereal stuff, but I'm not sure. I actually need to check. He does not have magic weapons. I think his giants may have built-in magic weapons, but I'm also not sure about that. But he has decay weapons. Well, we can check. It'll probably say right here. All enemies hit will suffer extra fire damage. Okay. So it's not on damage. Now, decay weapons, all enemies wounded. So this is on damage. So I think what this means is this is still going to mess up ghosts pretty good. Yeah. So solar weapons, decay weapons, shock resistance 5. The other part of that was he got swiftness, which gives him 1 defense and combat speed. Poison resistance 10, fire resistance 5. Sorry, guys. Defense skill plus 3. Reinvigoration plus 1. Blood surge 3. So once they're blood surged, they're going to be getting a total of 4 defense, 2 reinvigoration, 3 attack, 3 strength. He has dark vision, which actually is pretty good versus me, and mountain survival and combat speed. So I would say all in all a pretty good bless. Pretty versatile. It's not the scariest thing for like Seer. But I think what it's built to do, like it's not bad on Seer. Like they certainly enjoy all the resistances, they enjoy the blood surge, they enjoy the MR. The defense is a little lost on them because they berserk. But just the resistances, and then both these weapons are nice on Seir because they're going to have mini attacks. So I don't know. It's okay for Seir. Which is the Gath Sacred. It's kind of like an Aussie that doesn't fly, that goes berserk. But it's also good on these guys because these guys are really cheap, and so giving them decay weapons and then solar weapons actually is probably a pretty big bump to their damage output. And then Blood Surge, once they kill anything, it's gonna be good. Let's see if they lose any to PD here. And they lose one. Let's see, this guy's decayed. Oh, they break. Yeah, so these guys actually fail here. Just enough PD. There we go. Way to go, Arco. So you can see they're not, like, phenomenal, but you can imagine these guys buffed up in a line. You know, they're going to pull their weight for 15 gold, I think. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty good Rainbow Bless. But anyway, now we know what he has. And it's good that it's not something terrifying, like... Oh god, I don't even know. Blood Bond. Stacking Strength or something horrible with magic weapons. That would make us very sad. There's parts about it that are really good against us. We'll look at it one more time. The parts about it that are going to be really good at us are the Reinvigoration is going to help a great deal for the fatigue plays, which I'm bound to make. Of note, he has fire resistance, but he doesn't have cold resistance. So if he's attacking me, I can still Grip of Winter him. Now, it's not going to work that well once he does Frostfend and stuff, but that, with the Blood Surge and the Reinvigoration, I feel like these guys are going to be pretty slow in going down. They do have a fair amount of encumbrance, and the Seer have a lot of encumbrance. So I don't know, fatigue plays will probably still work, they'll just be less effective. And then obviously the magic weapons and stuff is good. And the defense is nice, I mean, it makes it much more likely to hit the shield, so anyway. Those are all the battles. Most of what we have to talk about this time is Diplo. There we go, boys. 550 gold. And then we have a bunch of forts finish. So, and the next turn we have to talk about what's coming up. So, first of all, Diplo. I had sent, and I think I showed you. Well, let's go back and double check. It's turn 33. So... One second, let me hop out. We're going to go check turn 32 real quick. I'm getting to the point I need to clear this folder out. I've probably filled it up where I can't fit more games in there. Outgoing message. I sent this message to Bogarus. I can leave your cap circle alone if you want to get back to get your fort back from Atlantis. We can pick up where we left off when you get back if you wanna. And then another message. I killed 200 of his troops last turn, and I think he lost another 200 in different wars, so it should be pretty easy for you if you're interested in a short ceasefire message in Discord. So that's what I sent him last turn. Now, also, because I'm not sure I covered it, you can see outgoing, sending fire gems and fire skull, and I'm sending these to Argartha, who's going to make me a Thistle Mace. Once I have a Thistle Mace, I can actually probably fight Caleb, who's attacking him. So yeah, and then Fire Gems to Pythium, this is for his share of Eternal Pyre, and then also also for whatchamacallit? Also for a lantern, sorry, I had like major brain malfunction. So I talked to... So Bogarus messaged me in Discord, and he said he's not interested in a ceasefire, but he is interested in peace. Which is not surprising, but it is interesting, because I think when I get to this state, a lot of times I'm like, well, fine, I'm going to fight to the death, just finish me off, because like you're kind of fucked when you're this small. But normally I would have gotten out of this war a long time ago if I were him, because he was the aggressor in the war, not me. I mean... I technically attacked Phlegra, but Phlegra was like 2 or 3 turns away from attacking me. I just wanted to get a favorable start to the war that I knew was coming anyway. And Bogarus and Falegra were like a coalition that was coming for me. So Falegra attacked, and I had not attacked Falegra. I sent him a message the turn he attacked me, because it was obvious it was coming, you know. But yeah. What we have agreed to is he will get provinces with his dominion in it, which is going to be this and this, and then all of this stuff. Now, you may be like, why would I ever do this? Because this is really, like, Lemuria lives, my lifeblood, my income is all from raiding. So you have to be kind of aggressive as Lemuria. And, like, just by making that deal, like, with the stroke of the pencil, compared to what my income was last turn, I'm going to lose 56 plus 20. I'm going to lose, like, 70 gold. Plus, I'm going to be giving probably 200 gold at least, 300 gold per turn, to my enemy. Well, you know, to somebody who's been fighting me literally the whole game. And in reality, he doesn't have Soul Slay. There's some things that make it an appealing time to try to finish him off. But as we talked about last turn, I don't think I have it in me to fight Atlantis and Marignon and finish Bogarus off while Bogarus has this Doomstack. And so anyway, this was the deal that Bogarus suggested, that he get area with his land in it, not including the ocean, but including this. I assume he's going to go take this back from Atlantis, but there's no telling. I said I would kind of leave that to him. This didn't come with, like, you need to attack Atlantis or you need to attack Agartha, but I think it would be very silly if he didn't at least take these two, but I think he should take that too. And even if he just denies resources from Atlantis, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. I am going to take this army, move it out, and I'm going to go sit on top of... I'm basically just going to go cause problems in the back lines for Atlantis. And these guys are all probably dead, but we're just going to see how much running amok we can do. And it may be very little, I have no idea. But it's going to make it hard for him to commit too much to a forward war against me when I've got stuff running around in his back lines. Which he looks to be posturing to do. You can see he's got 80 guys here, he's got 30 guys here. This is enough to slowly break down this, like to do a 3-turn siege on this fort. So we're going to go ahead and put these guys inside, and they're going to... Basically, it's going to turn into like a 4-turn siege, because we've got only 6 PD... or 6 siege defense here, but... Excuse me, we add 36 or something to it, 37 to it. And that's gonna dramatically cut down the siege effectiveness of these guys. So I think we're gonna do that. I also have a feeling they may attack me in the lake, and they've got more now than I can handle. So time to appropriately back down. Over here, we've postured this army right next to this force. So this is 210 units, so it's grown. Crossbowmen, palace guards, city guards, missionaries, and halberdiers. What I am hoping, because I've been patrolling here, we did not find anything. I patrolled here last turn. What I'm hoping is he does not know that my army has moved here. And if he doesn't, I think he is in for World of Hurt. I cloud trapezed in Nin. And so Nin is scripted to do anti-magic Aerofend and then stuff to keep her alive. But turn 1 anti-magic. She should be, because she's got the Boots of Reinvigoration too. I had to cloud trapeze her with those on it because there's no lab here. And it's the only way she could make this move in 1 turn. And I moved these guys here to protect my venue of attack. But to Marignon, what I think it's going to look like is like I'm trying to scare him off or something. And he's not going to be scared of this. He's like, 200 troops, that's nothing. You know, which is nothing. I mean, he would murder 200 troops. So, yeah. But so we're sending everybody in. Anti-magic Aerofen. Now, a lot of his army is crossbowmen. Right? It's the first unit. It's probably at least 110 crossbowmen. I think the last time we looked, it was 90, so we'll see. But it's a lot. So Aerofen's definitely going to do something. Next, we have... well, we're not doing a ton, so I'll just cut to the chase. We're doing Rigor Mortis. And actually, we don't really need to do Protection of the Shadelands because we're already doing all of that. So Rigor Mortis, Conservative Gym Use. He's just going to pop it. It's going to knock his ass out for a long-ass time. He's going to take a fair amount of damage when he pops it. Because it's... you have to be Death 4, and it takes 3 gems. So you actually have to be Death 4 to cast it. You can't get away with, like, Death 3 and a couple extra gems. But it's 300 fatigue. So it's going to pop him for a few damage when he casts it and knock his ass out. But he'll wake up. And then everybody else is going to be... I've got a shit ton of these consoles that are coming, and they're all... we have 2 of them doing Unholy Blessing just for a little redundancy. And then they're all just going to be spamming out Apostasy. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys doing it. There's a lot of Apostasy. This is, I had mentioned last turn, like you need kind of a critical mass. And this is getting to the critical mass point. We also have Power of the Shadelands dropping, which is going to be huge. The +4 attack and the movement speed. Very nice for flanking, getting in there with the mages, closing ranks quickly. So that's all good. And then we have these guys on fire archers. My expectation is his melee troops are going to run forward and kind of separate, but his mages are all mixed in there with his archers. Sorry, my cough is like really bad right now, guys. But his mages are mixed in there with his archers. So I think these guys are going to snipe off some mages and then, hit a few archers along the way. But yeah, Kermode Bear, he's going to be carrying a lot of the weight for us here, doing drop in big old Rigor Mortis. I'd love it if I could do another fatigue play. And I've got man, my cough. I've got the right person here. I just need a water bracelet, and then this person and the gems. And then Waywinkle would be able to do Grip of Winter, which even though it's heat, it's still going to be somewhat effective. Or if I had a way to teleport these guys over here, but I don't even have teleport researched yet, so. Nor do I have the Astral Booster, which I'm going to need to actually teleport them around, which I probably need to do, because they're going to be really important to my strategy, and I need to get them without moving them, like, for 8 turns to different parts of my empire. So anyway, this is going to be a big fight, and unless he does something special, I think this is going to be a crushing defeat for him. This is going to be like 20 mages or something he has here, and they're going to get completely raffle stomped. And I don't think there's any incentive for him to move the army, unless he sees this here. If he sees this, I could be in trouble. But he is not going to be scared of this. But I think this is scary enough that he is not going to want to move this army around. Like, one thing you can do is have like a small force storm and then move the main army out. I don't think he's going to do that, because he may think I'm, going to try something. So I think he's just going to take everybody here and just storm the fort. And then when this whole army of 1,000 ghosts comes crashing in, with Rigor Mortis up, with Arrow Fend, with Anti-Magic, with Power of the Shadelands, ooh, it's going to be so nice. One of the nice things, too, about Anti-Magic is it will just guarantee off-script casting is going to be Apostasy. So there's going to be a lot of apostasy spam. And if my guys close in, what I hope will happen is we close in. His army's like right out here. As we start surrounding it, we got the apostasy spam coming in heavy. Every time they hit somebody in the middle, his own guys are going to kill it. But if they hit, and it's only going to target mages really, because I think that's about all he has. For sacred units or priests, but if they target ones that are near the edge, as my ghosts start to kind of percolate in, they will mix. It'll push them out of the enemy formation and into my formation. So, hopefully, we get some cool new mages. That would be really nice. And then once we're done here, we're going to make a decision to either carry on, because this is a lot of his mage core. So we'll make the decision to either carry on and like actually take Marignon's cap, or we're going to make a decision to shift up and deal with Atlantis. So we'll see. And I sent Marignon a teasing message almost. A cool breeze is on the air. You feel it in your bones, but hear nothing. The armies of Lemuria approach. Your mages and priests huddle together, determined to do what they were trained, but still they are unsure as they gauge at the approaching ghosts. Your commanders begin to glance side to side, sizing up their armies as they see the tide of spirits flooding towards them. Should they fight? Should they run, then fight? Or should they fight, then run? Is there hope? Soon the battle is upon them, and their fate will be left in the hands of the gods. This is going to be an extremely painful fight, I think, for Mary. I don't think there's any way... I mean, he has 20 mages and priests. They could potentially kill 100 undead a turn. I'm going to close ranks with them, though. They're going to waste one turn communioning. The first turn they start spamming their stuff out. Yeah, the first turn they spam stuff out is going to be turn 2. And I'm going to be damn near engaged with them when that comes down. But then they're probably going to kill... Like, some of them are going to miss and stuff. I bet you they kill... It's 20, and they're going to probably kill 3 undead per mage. So probably like 60 a turn. That's my guess. So... But then they're going to fatigue out. Well, they're in a communion. They might kill 400. A good battle for me would be if they kill 200. Bad would be 400. And then what the fuck happened would be if he wins. If he wins, obviously he's going to get this fort. That's going to mean a major shift in my thinking about what's happening in this game. Because if I lose this army, then I'm not going to be able to protect this fort from Atlantis. Because this army is what would pivot up here to protect this from Atlantis. So yeah. The nice thing about making peace with Bogarus is I'm now going to... The raiding threat. He was a pretty big raiding threat. Like this... And not raiding, really. But just his army running down and knocking down forts. So it means, first of all, you know, all these forts are going to be unmolested while I upgrade them. I can drop a fort here and here and here reasonably safely. And then I'm going to have this very, very strong kind of center of power that I've shifted up this way. Towards Atlantis, actually, which is fine. But it means I probably also need to start looking for another war. I mean, we've got... The other thing we have to talk about now is Calum. So Calum, you can see they concentrated their forces here. They added even more. And then they've got some guys here, too. He's got white mages, too, which means he's been doing Twiceborn. Apparently, Calum tried to raid this temple. And Agartha did a PD dump. And apparently the PD wiped out. There were like 50 Raptorian warriors here. or like 40 of them. And apparently they all died. They're just 100% dead. He raided somewhere else, and apparently they all died. And so now Agartha is going to kind of go send his Doomstack in, I guess, to deal with these guys. So yeah, we're leaving 0 PD here so he can take it back with the scout. And yeah. I mean, this is going to be a bad time for Agartha because my Dominion's going to be running crazy through his lands while he's trying to fight this war. I can't... If I could turn it off, I would. But I cannot control it, my friend. My Dominion is wrecking this province, too. This used to be pretty high income. But importantly, I'm piling up just a massive amount of troops here. And I probably should, at least to the degree that I can. Put them in some kind of formation. Sparse line. I don't think they're going to attack me, but what are we going to do? Now, just doing this is making him commit a lot of his mages and troops to this border, and that is going to slow down the rate at which he can conquer Agartha, which is my chief mission. The more we've been thinking about it, I have no idea how Agartha is going to fight them with Wailing Winds and Arrowfiend and Storm. Like, the archers are completely useless in a war against Kalem. The troops are useful, but, I mean, heavy infantry are going to not kill things terribly quickly. So I don't know, maybe it works pretty okay, but my thinking is probably pretty hard. And then, if he has all that, he also can do Wind of Death. So, there's just so many things. I mean, maybe he doesn't have Wind of Death yet, but he's close to it. He has Wrathful Skies too, which I have to worry about. And Agartha. There's just so many different ways Kalem can fuck Agartha, and there's just so few ways Agartha can fuck Kalem. But hopefully he makes the explosion ponies, which are going to help a lot, because one of the main problems is like slow moving, slow to kill heavy infantry versus Wailing Winds. Not what you want to use. Mages doing Skelly spam versus Wailing Winds. Not what you want to use. Yeah. Just not good. But anyway, Kalem's capital, I realize, is right here. So this army represents like an existential threat to Kalem. Like, that's why he defended this so well. So what we're going to do, because I probably will attack with it, but for now, I just want to slow things down and let Agartha kind of get in position. I think what I'm going to do... We're making a Ring of Water Breathing. We're making a Fire in a Jar. I'm probably going to take this copper plate, and we're going to put it on one of the fire guys, and we're going to send him in to do Solar Eclipse with this army, because I will have it not this turn, but next. So next turn, I equip this guy up, I send him underwater. Turn after, we could potentially use him. But importantly, I also got Camille, and Camille is a nature water mage. And when that means there's a 50% chance of me getting one, so I finally got one. And I can put this Thistle Mace on Camille, and she is going to drop Foul Vapors. And that is going to be the spell which I think will really be decisive. Because if he does, you name it. Well, Wind of Death is probably still going to fuck me. Yeah. These guys live a long time, but pretty sure the HP tick fucks me still. Well, we can do turn 1 anti-magic, which will deal with Wind of Death if they cast it. We'll be okay. And then, yeah. But anyway, getting off Foul Vapors, what that is going to mean is that if they do Wrathful Skies, they're going to be taking damage from Wrathful Skies, because they're not completely immune. And they'll also be taking damage from Foul Vapors. And basically, the sum total of that is there's a very good chance that they are going to rout before I do. I think. But for now, we're going to keep them here, and we're just going to look scary. And in a turn or two, we're going to send them in. Meanwhile, on this front, we had all this talk of Pythium going and wrecking Atlantis, but it just hasn't really played out that way. I don't even know what's happened. I haven't gotten to see any of the fights, unfortunately, so we're going to cycle through here and see what's happening. My guess is these guys don't do anything. They seem to be doing a lot of Diplo, like, you know, they were the ones that coordinated the whole Midgard gangbang. And, you know, they were going to go on Atlantis. But, I don't know. I think they had it. Well, I mean, some of it's not bad. Like, they did go, I think, and they killed a bunch of his guys. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. No, I could see that. I was going to say, I don't know how you lose one fight and then you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But I actually was just talking about how I was going to do that with Marignon. So anyway, I certainly hope he decides to attack Atlantis, but I don't have enough situational knowledge to know whether I would continue it or not or anything like that. And I think my Dominion push is going to be pissing him off. We can see he's got a bunch of Misties, and I think those are Preachers, but I'm not sure. No, they're not. Those are Researching. The Heliodromuses are not Preachers. The Revelers are who he needs to get. Because they're heretics. Yeah, I should not be Dom pushing him at all. He needs to get some Revelers. Maybe I send him a note. No, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to attack him. He can let his lands rot if he wants to. But he should get Revelers. It might... One candle from Lemuria hurts a lot. Like, it is major income damage. And then this, like, forget about it. This province has been destroyed now. So close to my throne. This province is going to get destroyed. Yeah. So, I think when it's time, we're going to have... Yeah, Iflight's probably going to cast... Anti-Magic, and then Elikium is going to cast Rigor Mortis, and then we're going to do... I think we're going to wait. It's going to be like a few turns, because we could try to make a play when it's just... what do you call it? Solar Eclipse. And that will help a lot. But I think we wait for Foul Vapors. And then he's going to be real fucked. Really fucked. And it's not going to be that much longer. We make, basically next turn, we make another Ring of Water Breathing. I might forge another Copper Plate in case... I don't want these guys with all the gear on them dying if they do Wrathful Skies. And then here we probably need to make Poison Protection for the Fire Mage we're going to send in. So yeah. That is that. We should be getting our first fire dude. Oh no, we're not quite getting him yet, but hopefully we get him soon. But yeah, so that's good. We're now in a 3v1 kind of, but this is an asymmetrical war with Kalem where they can't really... I mean, they could fly over and attack me, but they're not. Because they're smart. So anyway, that's good, I think. The big thing is going to be next turn, do we kill Marignon? And then, if that, do we have to pivot back and drive Atlantis off? Or can we push forward and actually try to claim much of Marignon for ourselves? And which is... This was a very long way away from our power base, but as our forts are popping up, because like this turn we have a fort popping up and a temple coming up, we're now getting pretty close to my power base. One thing I'm going to try to trade for too is an a stone idol. I really want to keep my Dominion out of Falegra. because it is going to start dropping fast. But if I don't get it in a few turns, it may not be worth it. So yeah, also Agartha this turn is making me 2 water bracelets, which also means... Well, no, we're going to be doing... Are we going to be doing heat? We'll be doing heat from hell. I think this guy's going to do Phoenix Power, Solar Eclipse, heat from hell. That, along with Rigor Mortis, is going to wreck these guys. And he's probably going to have to get even more dudes here, too. I would really like to get a scout over here. Didn't I recruit some scouts? I thought I had recruited some scouts. Let's get this guy in my fort. Oh, all my scouts I recruited were over here, so I'm sending them into Agartha. I need to get them over this way. Oh well, there's not much we can do about it. In the magical world of research, we are at 550 a turn, which is pretty good. One thing too, I had mentioned that I'm way ahead. I'm about 100 or more RP ahead of where I was per turn in my other Lemuria Let's Play. And it's increasing at a faster rate, like a significantly faster rate. It's not going up as much the past couple turns because I've been sending people outside searching. And I haven't shown you all that, but my income of 2,000, this time in the other Lemuria game, my income was at like 300. And it got up, I think, not as high. I think it got up like this, and this was my research graph in the other game. And by this time in the other game, I was at 300. So this just gives you a sense of how the pacing is different. And I didn't do a lot of the level 3 fort upgrades in the other game. So I'm in a much more robust position, because it's going to be much harder to break through 500 siege strength, or 500 wall integrity than it is 250. But yeah, for research, we are 550. If I wanted to, I could take everybody who's site searching and I could have them research, and I would get it this turn. But I don't really need it this turn. I need it next turn. Because next turn is when I'm going to send my guy underwater with Solar Eclipse. And anyway, we'll have it done. For the turn, he could potentially move out and attack. Now, whether I choose to move out and attack is a different story. Itimu, final thing. Itimu is moving underwater. So we may ping something with Itimu, but we're going to have to be a little careful. I'm kind of thinking we just keep Itimu in the army and let him go madman and attack people. But we'll see. Really, honestly, I kind of want to have it here to help Agartha, but I think Itimu would be much better served up this way, come to think of it. What's the fastest way out here? Okay, I think we actually are going to move Itimu out. I was going to have Itimu here help Agartha, but I've got this army. Itimu can't really do much. He can kill raiders, and Agartha killed other raiders. So Itimu doesn't need to do much. Like, he can't kill mage-supported guys. Not over here where they have death mages. Over here where they just have a few astral mages and stuff, like Itimu could potentially kill that stack. That would be valuable to me. And Itimu has a lot of protection, so as long as these guys aren't on advance and cast spells, we will wreck these guys also. So I think we're gonna... I kind of... God, I really wasted a turn there. I could have gotten him way out this way from Lemuria, but Agartha specifically requested I send Itimu south. So I sent him south, but Agartha's killed all the raiders. There's not much for Itimu to do. So anyway, we're gonna do that. But yeah, I think that's basically it for this turn. We've got the gems going to Pythium. I've got a stipend going to Agartha. And then part of the stipend is going to come from this province, which I took on his behalf. But part of it is just, I think, generally trying to help him through this. The stipend kind of started as him getting preachers for this stuff, but I think that's like a secondary thing now, rather than surviving against Calum. Gym income, we haven't talked about that much. We're at 31 fire, but you have to subtract 10 from this, so we're at 21 fire, which is still a shit ton. We're at 27 death. 2 nature, 2 astral. The astral is really bad. 2 earth, 5 water, 6 air. So, anyway, that is what it is. What is nice is we have negotiated this part as part of my territory, so I get this earth site from the little Bogaroos borderline, which I'm happy to have that earth income permanently mine. And I think that's it, folks. I think we've covered it. Gonna be a pretty awesome turn next time. This battle is gonna be the shit. Get if you don't have any, go buy some popcorn so that when next turn rolls around, you can put that stuff in the microwave and really enjoy this battle. All right, until then, see you next time.